Listen, if you are crying before work and complaining all weekend about work, and you feel like you are dying at your desk day in and day out, every single day you show up and you're showing up alone, even thinking about it makes you cringe, and it's chipping away at your soul. It is because you are misaligned. And what I need you to know, and I need you to hear me on this, leaving a job isn't failure, but staying stuck in survival mode when you don't have to because you have choices, okay? That is failure. You are failing yourself by staying stuck, stuck when you don't have to. There are very clear telltale signs that your body, your soul, your spirit are all ready to exit, okay? I want to go ahead and break down those 5 things for you today. Let's go ahead and decode those in this episode so that you can start to contemplate your next best move. And I have a feeling, and I know you've been thinking about it. Girl, go on and get out of that job, okay? Let's go through the 5 signs, though, that you are ready to leave that job, just over broke. We don't need to stay there. We don't need to stay in places and spaces where we're not wanted, where we feel rejected, where our values are misaligned, where our voices are not valued, where we are victimized and violated. Okay? So, 5 signs that you need to get out. Okay? Y'all seen the movie? Don't let them start stirring that teacup because then it's already too late because you're going to be in the sunken place. Okay? Let's get out before we get to the sunken place. Okay. Number 1 is physical burnout. Got something to write with? Okay, just listen for now if you don't. Okay, and then come back and rewatch this video if you need to. Number 1 is physical burnout, right? What does that look like? That could be a number of things. Constant fatigue, okay, extreme fatigue, like just tired on easy days, just for no reason. You got plenty of rest and yet you're very exhausted. Illness, anxiety, chronic stress, migraines, pain, musculoskeletal issues. Okay, those are some physical signs. And then there are, of course, emotional signs, right? So there's emotional detachment. That's number 2. You dread Mondays. On Sundays, you have the Sunday scaries. You have that dreaded feeling. You start to feel sick, apathetic, maybe desensitized, even numb, right? Just numb, like just nothing. You feel nothing. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is spiritual unrest. Spiritual unrest means that you are feeling out of alignment. Okay, so much so that you feel like your values are being compromised. Your soul feels empty. It feels like it needs to rest, but you feel restless. And something, you can't quite pinpoint it, but it's pulling on your heartstrings. Or maybe you can pinpoint it, but it's pulling on your heartstrings. And because you're not doing anything about it, you feel unrested, unsettled. Okay? That was number 3. Number 4 is low ROI, a low return on investment. What does that mean? That means there's no growth, there's no learning, there's no joy, there's no reward or recognition, right? You just show up, do your job, collect the check, pay the bills, and start all over again every single day. It's a maddening cycle. You're just going through the same old every single day. Nothing changes unless and until you do, right? That's number 4. Number 5 are those golden handcuffs. You know, the golden handcuff syndrome when you're in that cushy corporate career. You're only there for the paycheck, right? Nothing else excites you anymore. Okay. It used to, that beautiful building that you used to walk in, right? And be proud of. The corner office with the window view, right? The fact that you have a large network of resources, the key players that you rub elbows with every day, the C-suite execs, that status of having that title, that important sounding title, right? Those things used to matter. The benefits, the bonuses, the extra perks, none of that matters anymore. That's the golden handcuff syndrome. When you have all of those things, and that's the reason for your staying, but now, not so much, right? Now you know that it's time to go, but something is holding you back, the golden handcuff syndrome. Even though they don't matter to you anymore, even though it doesn't light you up and excite you anymore, right? It's holding you hostage. Okay. And a bonus tip for you as well. So that was number 5. A bonus tip that I want you to pay attention to is, how does your body and your brain react on Sunday nights? All right. Are you tight and tense in this area? Do you feel like something inside of you just feels like toxic buildup, an accumulation of toxicity that you've absorbed from that toxic environment? Maybe you're in a cynical mood all the time. Maybe you're just like over it already. Like you don't even care about the things that used to care about, right? You don't even have the kind of fun you used to have because you're all consumed with this job. Do you feel or start to think about reasons that you want to take off work? Now, mind you, you may have already taken off some time. Maybe you even had a recent vacation. Maybe you have very little PTO left in the bank, but you have a lot of sick time because you hardly ever use them, right? Use up the sick time that's accrued. But lately, you've been thinking of reason after reason after reason as to why you don't want to show up anymore. What excuse haven't you given yet? In fact, you are at the point where you're planning your sick days. You're marking them on the calendar. Okay, like this week I already took off this day. I said I went to the doctor. Okay, that was just a day. I need more time. Okay, I'm going to mark this whole 3 days right here. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it on a Monday and a Friday so I can have a 4-day weekend. And I'm going to say that something came up. I'm taking care of somebody who's sick, or I have some kind of medical, concern that needs my undivided attention right now. Whatever it takes. You're already planning your sick days. You ain't sick yet. In fact, you ain't sick at all, really, but you are, right? Because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of this damn job. Okay? Is that what's showing up for you? Are you already planning like different scenarios? Are you playing them out rather, like whether they've happened or not? Like maybe you already know, oh God, when I get there tomorrow, I know Keisha and Sue Ann and Susie Q and Helen, oh, they're going to get on my last nerve. Okay. I only got one good nerve left. They are going to get on the last good nerve. Okay. If you're feeling like that, and so you're playing out scenarios based on what has already happened or what potentially could happen. Oh Lord, I know Jane's going to call me in the office again. I better go in with my handy dandy, because you got to be careful recording folks. Okay. Depending on what state you live in, that could be a no-no. Okay. That could actually be considered a crime, seriously. But you might have to go and take in some notes, right? You already know she's going to say you're not a team player because you didn't contribute to the potluck, right? You already know she's going to say, we had goodie day and you weren't a team player when we had goodie day, or you didn't say enough in the meeting. You were just sitting there being quiet and we need you to say more, right? And all of these things you already know she's going to write you up for. She's going to give you a verbal warning. She's going to start the corrective action process. She's going to find a reason to give you some sort of substandard performance eval. So that equates to you having maybe no merit increase or whatever the case might be. You already know you're playing this out. You feel it. You feel tense about it. You can see it happening. You can hear the voices, right? Oh Lord, I don't even want to go down the hallway because I already know they're going to be over here at the water cooler gossiping about everybody and then smiling in their face, even though they talk about these people behind their back. I can only imagine what they say about me. I already know because so and such are also gossipers, and they came back and told me what they was talking about when, you know what I mean, kind of vibe. Toxic. And you might be holding on, absorbing all of that. And that's what keeps replaying in your mind. Is that what's going on Sunday night? Like, I want you to really think about it. Get into it. Because these are all signs and symptoms. Like this used to happen to me a lot. Every time I would go to this one particular place, and I've had quite a few toxic jobs in my long tenure career, okay? 30 long years in corporate America, by the way, in case you didn't know, girl. And so, but I was a job hopper. And so you can only imagine throughout the span of my career how many jobs I've had, considering I only stayed at one job on average for about a year. If I was doing 2 years, girl, I was doing good. Okay, I'm doing big things. And so I could remember this one job in particular. Every time I would feel fine. I had already gone, did my morning routine and gone to the bathroom. I ain't trying to be TMI here, but I'm just saying, we do human things, right? But every single time I would get off the freeway, every single time I would get close to work, I would just get so many jitters. I would cringe heavily. My stomach would be upset. It would feel like I had to go, like emergency bathroom. You know what I mean? Like I got to go now. Every time I would get this GI upset, I would feel like I was going to vomit. I would feel like it was just, I was so tense and tight, like just knotted up every single time until I got out of that environment, until I did something about it first and then got out of the environment. Okay. Because, if you back me in a corner, the lion in me, I'm a Leo, comes out. Okay. So most days I might have a little small kitten purr, but that roar, oh honey, that roar can get loud and mean. And if I feel cornered, if I feel, if you try me one too many times, yeah, I'm coming for you. You're going to remember my name. And when I leave, you're going to know I was there because I ain't going out quietly. Okay. So, and I don't mean unprofessionally. I mean, I ain't going out quietly. Okay. So if you're feeling any of that, if you're suddenly feeling sick, ill, some sort of symptoms that you typically don't have, if you feel suddenly like snappy, sensitive, somber for no reason at all, those are telltale signs that it's time to go. Okay, those are your bonus tips. We went through the 5 tips. Those are your bonus tips. Now, I need to say this to you, and that is, you don't have to hit rock bottom to walk away. Okay, you absolutely do not. Sometimes discomfort is the only warning sign you'll get, and it is the only warning sign you'll ever need. Okay? You heard it from me first. Here's what I want you to think. I want you to ask yourself and think about this for real. Okay? Is your job draining you, or is it developing you? Is your job draining you, or is it developing you? That's the question I want you to ask yourself and answer honestly. Now, before we get any further and go deeper, or before I get to my next point, which is going to be telling you what you can actually do. So I'm going to give you a takeaway. I'm giving you some homework. You know how I do it here, okay, if you're not new to me. But if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. Let me know what tip so far has been most helpful, what you are feeling right now, if you are having any of these signs and if you're ready to bounce, okay? Like deuces, I'm up out of here. Let me know if you're there. And if you've, like kind of what your journey's been like, go ahead and share. Like I want to continue the dialogue beyond this video. And by the way, if you are getting value from my video today or any of my episodes and you've taken a peruse around my page and you've been following me for a minute, and even if you're new here, I want you to go ahead, if you're feeling my vibe, and subscribe, okay? Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. Now, I want to talk about what you can do. I'm not going to overwhelm you, okay? I think I've given you plenty to start with. Let me go ahead and give you what you can do. And that is, I want you to start by creating a transition plan, a transition exit plan. Okay, because this takes strategy. Nobody's asking for you to just jump ship and leave unless the ship's going down. Okay, you might have to jump at that point. But if you're not on a sinking ship or in a burning building, and even if you are, unless it is harming you, unless you're in danger, like for real, okay, we do need to plan. So before the ship goes down, before the building burns, let's go ahead and create that plan. Right now, you really only need 3 things to make that happen. First of all, you need a willing mind, right? You've got to be the willing participant. You've got to make the decision. That's first. Okay. 3 things though. You need to know you need a budget. Okay. You need a bridge job and you need a business model to get started. Again, a budget. We got to look at those numbers. You got to know your survival numbers. You need a bridge job. What can you do in the interim to help you get out of where you are right now? Okay? Packaging up your expertise, using your transferable skills for that bridge job so we can bridge the gap. Then it doesn't really matter what's happening over here with this job, right? Okay. And you need to have a business model. Now, I teach all the business models, but I focus and my specialty area is high ticket. Why? Because most of the women are like me. The women I work with are like me, and they make a 6-figure salary. And when you're used to that kind of money and the lifestyle that comes with, you don't want to be selling a bunch of low ticket items. Okay. That's never going to get you out of your job. So you want to replace your high paying income, your high paying salary, right? Your job with a high ticket business, well, with a business model that's going to get you out faster. And that's why I teach high ticket, if that makes sense. Right. So anywho, those are the 3 things. And if you don't know how and you need help, I want you to go ahead and book your Freedom and Focus Clarity call so that we can go ahead and create a personalized plan for you, give you the support and the guidance that you need, because it's no need for you to try to figure this thing out on your own. Okay. The best thing you can do for yourself is invest in you. Just like you did for those college degrees that you might be still deferring, okay, paying, still in debt for. All those degrees you pursued to have all those credentials behind your name. Yeah, that part. So why not invest in yourself in this way for something that's actually going to pay you back many times over for years to come and actually help you to create generational wealth, right? So book your Freedom and Focus Clarity call. By the way, let me go ahead and give you some clarity right now. This is not a free coaching call. Okay. I don't want you to get it twisted. So that there are no misunderstandings, it's not a free coaching call. Okay. Some people for some reason think that. It is a powerful 50 minutes. I'm spending about an hour with you on this. It's a Zoom call. We're face to face. Okay. By video. And it is a soul aligned strategy session. It is where it's designed for women like you to, where I'm helping you to reclaim your peace, your power, map out your next best aligned move, and walk away with both clarity and confidence. Specifically, what do you walk away with? I'm so glad you asked. A few things. You have a personalized game plan, okay? How are you going to plan to move forward? That's a question you'll want answered, right? You're going to need clarity, so you'll have clarity on what's keeping you stuck or holding you back, or as I say, holding you hostage if you got those golden handcuffs on. And it's really a chance for us to just see if we are a good match, right? Me as your coach, you as my potential client. Are we a good match? And is this a great time for us to work together? If it makes sense right now, we can move forward. We can talk about the options. And if not, it's okay. The best part is this. The call itself is 222. I'm all into angel numbers and numerology and all of that. Okay. But angel numbers, I have this number picked for a reason, but 222, very reasonably priced, right? Here's the good news. If you decide, okay, and there's no pressure, by the way. If you decide you want to work with me in a one-on-one capacity, or particularly in my group coaching program, the Legacy Leaders Lab, that is where the $222 would be applied. So essentially, the call is free, right? Because it's going to be applied to the program. Now, if you decide that it's not a good time right now, that's okay too. Then you're out of 222, you rather not out of, but you've invested at 222, and you still walk away with those very things that I just listed earlier. So again, it's a win-win for you. Okay. And then you walk away with the clarity and the confidence and the insights that you need in order to proceed in your next step. So book your clarity call. Okay. Go ahead and book your Freedom and Focus clarity call right now so that we can go ahead and get you to your next level. Now, that's my time. I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.